Okay, guys, lesson 9, solving absolute value equations. Okay, so we're going to look at absolute values. So just a review on absolute values, what it kind of means. So if you see something like this, absolute value of x is 3. There's actually two answers on this. X equals 3 or x equals -3. Okay, because you remember absolute value means, hey, if I put a negative in, -3 in turns it positive. So there's actually two answers. It could be 3 or -3. Okay, so solving these is going to be two steps. One, isolate the absolute value. Make sure you're copying down the notes, turning in your notes with your assignment. I'm giving you guys credit for turning in your notes and your assignments together, 2 pictures. So make sure you're getting on board with that and not losing out on those points, okay? Should be turning in your assignments and your notes every time for credit. Okay, isolate the absolute value and then break into 2 equations. And you'll see what I mean once we do it. But that's going to be the step on these. We need to isolate the absolute value. And then kind of like up here, we're going to break it into 2 separate answers. Okay, 2 examples. -3, these are absolute value bars. X minus 5 equals -10. Isolate the absolute value. That means get everything that's outside the absolute value over on the other side. So how do I get rid of that -3? I need to divide by -3. Oops, let's make that 2. Sorry. Switch that. -2 is what I was supposed to be there. So -2. Divide each side by -2. Okay, that cancels. Absolute value, x minus 5 equals -10 divided by -2 is 5. Okay, now we're going to break into 2 equations because you might say, well, I can solve that. No, you got to break it in 2, okay? The 2 equations are this: x minus 5 equals 5. In other words, just like it looks without the absolute values. The other one would be x minus 5 equals -5. Okay, so I do one normal and one where I change this answer to a negative. Okay, solve both of these. This one's x equals 10. This one, if I add 5, x equals 0, right? Check these, plug them into the original. Okay, 10 and 0. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 times absolute value of 5 is 5. 5 times -2 is -10. 0, plug in 0, that was the other answer. 0 minus 5 is -5. The absolute value is 5. 5 times -2 is -10. So both of these answers give you an output of -10. Okay, one more, guys. Maybe a little more complicated. Not too much though. You know, something like this. Okay, 12 equals 2, absolute value, -2x plus 4, absolute value, minus 4. Number 1, isolate the absolute value. That means get rid of the stuff that's on the outside. You got to take care of this -4 first. You always take care of the adding and subtracting first when you're solving. 16. There. Get rid of this 2. 8. Absolute value, -2x plus 4. I've isolated the absolute value. I've got it to just be an absolute value. You can't just go and solve this. You got to break it into 2 and then solve each. The first one, you just keep it like it is. 8 equals -2x plus 4. Okay, the second one, I'm going to change the output. Change this to a -8. Keep this part the same. Okay, that's how you do all these. Keep this part the same. Change that to a negative. Okay, solve these both out. Getting down to x equals -2. And then over here, -12 equals -2x. X equals 6, it looks like. Okay, and same deal, if I plugged in -2 or 6 here and worked it all out, it should come out to 12. Okay, so there's 2 different answers because of the absolute value. because of the negative positive situation there. You have to say, hey, this could be negative or this could be positive, because if this answer came out to 8, or if it came out to -8, it would give an output of 8 here, okay? So that's why we say, hey, it could come out to 8, could come out to -8. Either way, when I work it out, it's going to give me an 8 because I'm doing absolute value. That's the logic there. Okay, that's it.